her for å sette utstrykka. Har du langt til seg?
1-9-0.
Stemmer det?
Det kan godt stemme. Tusen takk.
3-4. Våpennummeret, sorry. Det er sånn man tar det. 8-6-3. 5-1-9. 5-1-6. Vent tilbake. 1-1-2.
Jo.
Det var 9-3-2. 39.
Takk.
Friends all over this arena. Then we have Finland. Ah, good.
Aber Arm Tendenz links.
Do you like that as well? Okay, det blir mer bra. Vi må litt hvert. Nå koser vi oss med litt god musikk.
Sen var det nästan lite mer vind nu, men det var ju ganska mycket lugnt också.
Första skottet var det lite mer.
Ja.
Var det där?
Riktig god morgen eller formiddag heter det vel. A good afternoon.
It's now 5 minutes to the start, 10 minutes to start. Start number 1, Oslo, Denise Herman, Frida Simo. Det er Marte som har klart det 2 ganger, eller så har det varieret veldig. Det betyr at det skal bli mange favoritter da, i denne øvelsen, det forstår vi da. Så er det jo alltid spennende på slutten av sesongen, og siste helg har vært en lang sesong. Det har vært også i år en tøff sesong for Marte i bildet og alle andre. Så skal avslutte veien til streken for alle de som starter i dag. Start nummer 13 nevnte du. Mange spør alltid hva er det nå på Bøya. Det er plassert i sammendraget U25 da. Der leder Elmira. Marte er både leder av, som vi har tidligere verdenscupen totalt, og spillcupen før det siste rennet, og før det siste med skiskyting internasjonalt i år. We now see the start list on the screens. I said it was on the list. We know at least 3 withdrawn, which means 78 starters at this sprint as far as we know at least. Så har jeg lyst til å bare si til det kjære norske publikum, alle publikum er kjære, men det vi har vært vitne til hva norsk skiskyting angår de siste sesongene, og jeg har vært helt fantastisk. Hvis vi ser litt på en oversikt over antall norske seire inkludert av laget og stafetter og alt de siste årene, så topp 4 på den lista fra de 4 siste sesongene. I 2019 da, 1986, og alle disse tallene foran noe historisk norsk skiskyting. Så det litt godt å kunne komme tilbake til Holmenkollen her i midten, forrige mulighet, men å redde de norske skiskytterne som har levert så fantastiske resultater. Det blir vel ikke da siste sesong i år, vi klarer ikke å få seier på de siste 5-6 resultatene, men vi oppe der på topp 3-4 på den lista. Vi må bare si takk for det til norske skiskyttere, og så har vi den siste innsatsen denne helgen. Ja, vi straks i gang også med første øvelse. Det bare dere som har vært ut unna starten på sprinten, og
slagerslag fra start her, og vi skal ha selvfølgelig alle i mål, men
Vi tenker da i kampen om seieren på dagens sprint. Nå blir det litt fra Hansen kommer inn til første besøk på skytterbanen. Kanskje Stina Nilsson og starter bak der, Knotten og Helene også, men får en sånn 20-25 minutter sperre på det får det vel.
Vi går tidlig da. Det skulle jo ikke være, men det krevende å ha treffe med skiåpning, kanskje litt opp i løypa. Ellers så holder det seg bra.
Äläs nyt. Ei ollut.
Sprint policies before the ladies. Halfway now. Welcome and share. Vi må våkne nå, og så må de være med oss for lederen. det er sikkert mange av publikum også klar over at selv om hun representerer Belgia, så er hun litt belgisk og litt norsk, så vi heier også litt ekstra på startnummer 6. Første strykning, nå lurte da, Stevens fra Moldova startet da ikke med nummer 10, det betyr at vi venter på start nummer 11. Nå, altså på
into the stadium. Starting for France, we have Justine Brezard-Boucher. Number 12 is Todorova. We saw Vitozzi and Eckhoff go. They'll be coming up to the 900-meter mark fairly shortly. 24-year-old Todorova from Troyan. And if she can stick with Elvira Urberg when she comes past, which I'm sure she will, Tandrevold, regular top 5 now. Good bit of skiing there from Hauser, hugging the side, looking for the shade. Colder, slightly faster. Elvira Urberg, does she need help from the conditions? No, but it will make a difference. She was strong in the mass start just the other day. Her 4th win of the season for Urberg as we see Hauser settle. Missed her first shot in the sprint in Otapa. Missed 2 in the prone in Contiolati. Slightly low, but safe enough. Same height, just drifting over to the right. They're going further right each time. Can she bring it back? Yes, she does. Good shot to finish from Lisa Theresa Hauser. She's through the nervous part of the course. Now she can really focus on second lap. 2.5 kilometers again, same course. And I dare say she'll have company this time, having been on her own for that first loop. Roysland has taken 30 seconds out of Amanda Lightfoot, who's just settling. And Roysland straight up to lane number 1, where she zeroed her weapon. Oof, that was low. Lucky. Back in the middle. That would have been in the 9. Slightly right. Where's this going? Low right again. So a fast shoot. Slightly fortunate for Roysland, but quickest out on the track so far. Very quick in the range. And without a doubt, I expect to see her take the lead away from Hauser. What will the margin be? 11.2. So just under half a penalty loop. That's the sort of advantage she needs to build. Well, everyone looking for that right-hand section on the course. Now, Vanessa Voigt, 15 outside Roysland, and this needs to be fairly sharpish. I would think about 26, 27 seconds might give her a chance of going up into second. Well, that's quite a long time to the first shot, 17.7. Oh, switches those sights again. No, changes her mind. So that must have been in total 5 to the right. She, of course, does not know where they're going, but fortuitously, they are all going in the 9-10 ring. Excellent shooting in the end, having missed that first one. But a long time spent on the range. So Voigt with work to do. Tandra Vold only 5.8 outside Roysland. Solid shooting so far this year. A good group apart from number 2, so Duff ammunition. I think human error still probably the likely cause. There is always the element of luck with the weather and the wind, but there's not a lot of movement in the range at the moment. Vitozzi just settling. Tyrrell Eckhoff is there as well. Try and keep you up to date on Vitozzi's targets. So many problems with the first prone so far this year. That's a lovely shoot. A lovely shoot. Look at the total time, 26.8. There will be faster, but only by a second or two. Dorothea Vera just setting out on the stadium. She's going to be in close quarter racing with Eckhoff and, of course, Vitozzi. So 1.9 the margin. Vitozzi has, she was skiing well enough, and just waiting for her to come off the penalty loop to see how many penalties she's done. Elvira Erberg, so strong on the skis this season. Now she switches the sights the opposite way. Wind just building a little bit. Just inside that right-hand edge. Needs to be accurate with the remaining two. Oh, way out, way out. And again, and oh, bewilderment. That's desperately disappointing. And don't forget, the results of today determine the start positions for tomorrow. So, you know, it's really punishing if you finish outside the World Cup points today, you're likely to be outside the top 15 tomorrow. It has to be a good performance to improve on that. Now, Elvira Öberg, everything needs to be perfect if she is going to challenge Roysland for the overall World Cup. 82 points to gain. You would think that she needs to win today and have closed the gap by at least 30 points. Well, it's not going to happen. It will not happen with that first shot wide. Now, that must have been low right. Everyone going right at the moment. There has been a change in the wind. Oh, dreadful. Even worse than we saw from Justine Brézard-Boucher. So 3 misses for the number 2 in the world. Her chance of winning the overall has gone. So, Marieda, how is she going to contend? Just keep your eye on the telltale flags. I'm just trying to see if there's a difference around the range. The wind is coming through in little gusts, blowing from the left. I think what's confusing them is it is not consistent. So as you settle, it may be calm, but as the wind goes up, our best indicator is the movement of the hair. Everything calm at the moment. Ada should be okay if she can get the shots away quickly. She does. Hauser in for a stand shoot. That's a very, very nice start for Hauser. Is she going to finish the season as she started it? Remember, a sprint win in Östersund at the start of this year, and 10 out of 10. She's going to set an impressive mark. She's about 10 seconds a lap slower than Roysland, so she requires Roysland to miss at least one. 18.7 to play with. %90 hit rate in the stand. This for a probable win. No, she throws it wide, and that certainly increases Hauser's chances. Now, 28 to play with. She's got some way to go before she goes out on the penalty loop. You can see the penalty loop there on your right-hand side. So Roysland will not match Lisa Theresa Hauser, but she will have a realistic target. I think it's going to be close to the 15-second mark. Eckhoff has gone through the first shoot, has the fastest time, 9:47, and she started number 9, so in a couple of minutes' time she'll be in for her second shoot. Oof. 3 misses for her sister, 2 misses for Hannah Öberg already, 3. Is it going to be 4? That is not a bad group, but Sweden need to get some information out onto the course. I'm absolutely astonished that they didn't manage to get information to Hannah Öberg to say, bring the sights to the left. And yeah, slightly puzzled by that. But as she got up, you could see that the wind in the stadium was blowing from right to left. Now, I didn't see the wind when she zeroed her weapon, so that could well be the issue. But yeah, disappointing for the Öberg sisters, who are 2 and 3 in the World Cup standings at the moment. Fialkova on her way in, wearing 21. Roysland 11.1 seconds down on Hauser, having done a penalty loop. Now, I said she'd gain 10 seconds a lap. She'd gained 9.5 seconds on the first 2 laps. So that is going to be a very close call indeed. This is nice. Lovely shooting. Well, they've got the news out. Excellent result from the Slovakian, 5 out of 5. And 16.4 given away on the tracks to Eckhoff. But that you know, keeps her in the running for a podium. Should she go clear in the stand, just needs to pick the pace up a fraction. Now, Eckhoff. Totally dominant last year. 27 wins in her career. When she's on form, she's usually unbeatable. A miss from Dorothea Vera. Eckhoff taking her time. Roysland missing number 5. Eckhoff snatches it as well and throws it wide, but she's got a huge amount of time in hand. 38 seconds to play with for Tiril Eckhoff. She certainly is going to be within single digits of the current leader, Hauser, but I suspect that by the time she's done the penalty loop, she may still just have that green light. We will see. David Dover, who won the first individual of the year. Been a tiny bit disappointing since then. 12th in the World Cup standings. Many thought she might have a chance of challenging, but she's young and certainly will mature, be more consistent. I suspect she's going to get quicker on the skis, and after a clear shoot in the prone, she is not far outside the leaders. 14.4. Well, Eckhoff has come out 1.9 down on Hauser. So the chase is on. Eckhoff is, what, 10 seconds clear of her teammate Roysland. Now I'm trying to think who else can miss one and think they can win. Well, Denise Herrmann is one. Julie Simon of France, certainly another one, depending on what sort of form she's on, what sort of skis she's been given today. So a change in the sights halfway through. Well, considering she didn't miss, that was a bold move. 5 out of 5, 13 outside. So Denise Herrmann, I think, showing signs of fatigue. Here comes the first starter. Still holds the lead after shoot number 2. We've only had 10 through that stage. Amanda Lightfoot, 2 misses in all today. That's not bad, but finds herself 2 minutes down. Now, Julie Simon. I'll get you a split. Last time I saw her, she was about 20 seconds down on the race leader, Tiril Eckhoff. So it's been a slowish start for Simon by her standards. Couple of clicks to the left for Julie Simon. That would make sense on what we've seen so far. You sort of need 2 coaches, one to watch your own athletes and one to watch the others. Again, the wind changes. I think the French have been told, keep an eye on the wind. It is changing all the time, and that was excellent biathlon from Julie Simon. So the race is far from over with Eckhoff storming away. 1.9 down on Hauser coming out of the range. 0.9 of a kilometre later. Has she gone from red to green? Surely she has done. She has. 4.1, so a 5-second advantage to Eckhoff on this last lap. But Hauser hoping to do enough to hold off Roysland. Roysland in third place at 5.9, still with 6 seconds to play with at 6.9. So that has been a good final lap from Lisa-Theresa Hauser, 21.35. I don't think it's going to be good enough to win unless she's on an excellent pair of skis and has managed to make up time. Now, Roysland is going for top spot, but 6 seconds to make up, as I mentioned, at 6.9. 600 metres, 100 metre a second. It doesn't sound too bad if you put it like that, but I think she may well have struggled. 26 seconds. Let's keep an eye from the exit to the bridge. Still 20 seconds to make up. You can see the finish in the distance, just 150 metres away. It's going to be tight. She's obviously had a good run up Murderbacken, as it's known, at the back of the hill. Really steep climb where so many races are decided. 3 seconds to play with. I think Roysland is going to miss out by a fraction. She will. It's going red. 2.4. Great effort. Remember, she was just under 11 seconds adrift of the Austrian after that second shoot. So the door is open. Stuic has missed her opportunity. Well, it's going to be a good enough result, I think, to put Roysland in control. 3 events remaining this season: the sprint, the pursuit, the mass start. As we see Amanda Lightfoot going through, not quite on the same form as we saw her in Antolz. Eckhoff, only 1.7 to play with. This is closer than I thought. And I think Hauser on a very good pair of skis. But maybe the other explanation is that Eckhoff went too fast out of the range. Remember, she was 4.1 clear at 5.9. She's now only 1.7 clear. And that is a kilometre later. Stina Nielsen, well, she should do better than the 2 big names in the Swedish team, the Öbergs, both missing 3. That's healthy after a miss. Good recovery from Stina Nielsen. I think she's earned her colours, certainly earned the right to stay on the team for another year. And very easy to forget that she was the world's #1 sprinter on the World Cup circuit. Stina Nielsen, I think she just found it too easy and wanted a challenge. Loves the variety in the training. It's not just about hard work, spending hours and hours in the woods. Now, let's see what Eckhoff's done in the closing stages. She needed about 24 seconds coming off this bridge. Roysland had 2021 and finished 2.4 behind. Yes, she's done good work over the last 500 metres. So Eckhoff has done excellent work. Makes me think that last split might have been slightly out. Well, unless my judgment is wrong. 18 seconds, less than 75 metres now. It is definitely going green for Tiril Eckhoff. She is finishing her season in style. So from 1.9 behind, she finishes 7 ahead, and I still can't quite understand that. I think there must have been an issue with the timing wand. Davidova, 10 out of 10. Now, she's not far off the pace. Only a few seconds to make up, so possibly a podium. Like Hauser, started the season well, and she could finish it well. Denise Herman clearing the prone, and after that first shoot, Denise Herman down in 10th position, 26 seconds behind. She's up to 5th on her entry into the range, so the ski form is gone, but a 10 out of 10 No. Just gentle movement up onto the target. Didn't quite get it for that third shot. So in terms of shooting, she's on a par with Roysland and Eckhoff. In terms of skiing, she's 31 seconds down on the Norwegian. Elvira Øberg, 3 misses on that first shoot. That's going to make it a tough day. So more points gained, and I think we could see Roysland 100 points clear at the end of today, with just 120 points to be gained. I think it is just about over. In terms of the Crystal Globes, well, we've got quite a battle for the men's mass start, which will be the last race of the season, and we've got an epic battle for the women's mass start, which will be the second last race of the season on Sunday here in Oslo. So I'm already looking forward to those battles. We will see some end of season nerves. Julia Simon. Now this looks very good. Eckhoff with 13 minutes on the clock coming in. She's 24 seconds down. Eckhoff has had an absolute stormer, but if she goes clear, the advantage swings back her way. Has to have 5. Oh, almost off the target. Same place as the first miss. And everything going high right. I suspect she moves the sights from low right up to high left, sorry. I suspect she's just rising, bringing the rifle up through the target, and with the level of fatigue, the reaction's just that little bit too slow. Davidova shooting well for the Czech Republic. Is Jislova going to match her? Yes, she is. Very nice, solid shoot. Just over the 30-second mark as we see Elvira Øberg digging deep as always. Good standing shoot. She is absolutely superb in the stand position. I think probably will end up with the best standing record for this season. Started today with 87%. Actually, certainly if we take the second half of the season. Just missed 3 on that last shoot in the Olympic Games. In the mass start, put her out of the running. I think she could well have won it and taken it away from Brézard Boucher had they all gone down. Can't remember whether she got one of those vicious Beijing gusts blowing through the stadium. So here are your top 10 after the first shoot. Eckhoff, Roysland, Hauser, all have done okay, and at the moment they are the 3 names on the top of the leaderboard. Vitozzi, only 1 miss today for Lisa Vitozzi, so no collapse on that first pro. She missed 1 on the first pro and hit all the stand, so that's a good run for her. Eckhoff. I don't know how you can tell from an eye, but you can. Yeah, very interesting, that final split of Eckhoff's 1.9 behind. I'm just trying to think, you know, it's not often the timing system goes wrong, but she went from, 4 ahead to 1.7 ahead, and then ended up 7 seconds clear just 600 meters later. So the split at 6.9 is at the top of quite a long hill, and I just think she might have just taken it relatively easy up there. She skied here certainly more than Hauser has, and I think she probably paced that climb a little bit better and had something else to give coming down into the stadium. Now Stuic down into the finish. 122 behind at the moment, and might just go into the top 10. It's going to be 8, 9 or 10. Tandrevold on 154. Looks as though she's outskied Tandrevold in the closing stages. And Stuic goes into 7th place for now. Now, Stina Nielsen. 4 out of 5 in the prone. Her confidence growing every week. Throws that high. Changing the rhythm, just making sure it's not a quick shoot. And 31.8, it's getting better. It is getting much, much better. I think we'll see more podiums from Stina Nielsen next year. Starting number 44, Caroline Knotten from Norway. Yeah, nice finish. Very nice finish indeed from Knotten. Shame about that first one dropping low right. Heike with a sprint, went wrong on the prone. So many of the big names missing earlier on today. Just going back to the first shoot, always gives us an idea of who's coming up, who we need to keep an eye on. Knotten at 44, starting 44, the last person to go into the top 10. No one else has threatened, but we do have a field of 81, so plenty more still to come. Yislava with the perfect 10 out of 10. And how is this going to look? Just looking at a split through the last 5.9, top 6 or 7. Looks as though she should achieve that. Fialkova on 102. She's inside that easily. Good finish. Top 5 at the moment. Takes the scalp of Denise Herrmann. That will certainly put a smile on her face. Ida Lien, 2 misses in the stand, so 3 in all, an extra 450 metres. How have the French got on today? Anaïs Chevalier. Now that's a really good shooting result, but she seems to have lost her form just a little bit. Other French to have finished, Brézard Boucher down in 21st. She missed 5 in total. Lim Persson. 1 apiece. It's okay, it's 80%. Doesn't look too bad, but the competition today is tough. In the finish, Eckhoff ahead of Hauser, ahead of Roysland. Roysland couldn't quite make up the deficit on that last loop. Davidova in 4, Chevalier Boucher 5. Yislava, we've just seen go into 6th position for the Czech Republic. Chevalier Boucher actually pushing her from 5 down into 6. And Denise Herrmann currently 7 ahead of Fialkova and Lisa Vitozzi in the top 8 at the moment. Top 9 now. Now, Elisa Gasparin. A little unlucky. A split round, but probably only 5% of the round hitting the target. Needs to be over 50. And that's 10. It'll be a respectable run, but Elisa certainly needs 10 out of 10 to get herself into the top 15. What about Erdal? Another of those shooting left-handed like Tandrevold. She got that last one away very quickly. The wind switching left to right, and we've seen 1 or 2 athletes changing the sights halfway through the race. Others choose to aim off when they sense that so Eckhoff's time of 21:28. Last time we raced here hasn't been for a while, actually. March 2019. Can you believe that? And is that correct? Surely not. 1956, the winning time by one Anastasia Kuzmina, ahead of Preutz, ahead of Fialkova. Preutz and Fialkova racing today. Kuzmina retiring some time ago. Slimina. Here comes Stina Nielsen. 1:25, only 2 penalty loops, so giving away a lot of time to Tiril Eckhoff, but she goes 12. That will do okay. Now, Stina Nielsen just, you might have spotted it, just 1 place and 0.7 of a second ahead of Elvira Öberg, who is the best of the Swedes on the circuit this year. So, yeah, that's really good news. I'm really impressed by Stina Nielsen. Not so much the fact that she's getting better. I think we always knew she was going to be good because she can ski so fast. But the fact that she's sticking at it, giving away something that she was absolutely brilliant at. Yes, she had a few injuries in the cross country, but she just needed a bit of variety. And hats off to her, because she is getting there bit by bit. She's closing the gap on the world's best. Bate heading out of the stadium. And the French obviously on a bit of a high after Julie Simon's success in Otterper. She won the sprint there, a time of 20:45. Winning time in the Olympics, 20:44. We're nearly always between 19:30 and 21:30. Only extraordinary days like the ones you get in Oberhof does it really change from that. Now, Janina Hettich. See if you can pick up which way the rifle moves as she releases it. A little difficult with the caption of the target in the way of the end of the barrel, but 10 out of 10. Really good work from Hettich. Only 34 behind. Now, if she can keep that margin, there's a top 5 waiting. She will not touch Eckhoff or Hauser. Already 37 seconds behind. Yeah, I think we're probably looking at top 10 at best. Out she comes into 11th place at the moment for the German athlete, number 41, another of her team, Franziska Hildebrand, the oldest in the German team, 1:08 behind. That's not a bad run, to be honest, from Hildebrand. But will she get another season on the World Cup? I'm not sure. She's done a lot of racing on the IBU Cup this year, but when she hits 10 out of 10, she can still end up in the top 3 in terms of the German team. Selina Gasparin, surely this is her last season. All sorts of talk. A lot of athletes don't like to talk about it, as we saw in the cross-country events. If you're a fan of the cross-country, I can tell you that Kalle Halvarsson, who is another who's been they've been trying to persuade him to retire, but he had a couple of brilliant races in Falun and has decided to give it one more go. Now, if Gasparin can hit 10 today, oh, 50% hit, and it goes down. Maybe it was 51%, but a little bit fortunate for the older of the 3 sisters. She clears it. Norway now with Fem Steinvik. One of the later starters, Fem Steinvik. Klemencic of Slovenia starting 80, Hashisuka of Japan starting number 81, the woman from Hokkaido, as we go back to Emma Nielsen, brought into the team because of the COVID problems in the Swedish team at the moment. I'm not convinced we were on the right target there, but she gets 5 out of 5. That is a solid performance from Nielsen. We've got Stina Nielsen sitting in the top 15 at the moment, and Emma Nielsen with 10 out of 10 in 18th place. Not sure she's going to be able to close that gap down. Eckhoff, is it another win for her? Win number 28 on the World Cup Tour. It is quite possible. Eckhoff, who got herself a first, a second, a third and a fourth at the Olympic Games. So if you ever want to know what it feels like to win a medal or to finish fourth, she knows. She's done the lot. And that was a great, great rise to form after such a bad start to the season. Still no one from way down the start list who's making an impression on the top 5, but I think Baudet of France deserves a welcome. Started number 69. She's gone into 13th place after the first shoot, and then Fem Steinvik has gone into 23rd, as you just saw, having started 79. World Cup points for the top 40. I think top 30 probably. She'll be happy with that. Erdal of Norway, everyone looking for the shaded area. No real advantage to be gained, but it's warm here in Oslo. Spring has very much arrived. Won't be long before we see a little bit of colour in the grassy bank behind the range here. A couple of seconds wasted by shooting left hand. It's quite awkward getting up and off the range without colliding with other athletes. Simon Ada, of course, who shoots left-handed. That's a shame. Tandrevold, we've mentioned. Erdal with 3 misses in all. Hetish with a good clear shoot. In terms of those who finished, we've got, what, 5 in the top 10. So 50% of the top 10 have gone clear. No one has missed more than 1 until we get down to number 14. Stina Nielsen missing 2. Take away one of her misses, and Stina Nielsen would have been pretty much on a par with Denise Herman, who's sitting in 7th place today. And Elvira Erberg, 3 misses, is just a fraction of a second behind Stina Nielsen. So Elvira Erberg still skiing very, very well, but she missed 3 on the prone and really ruined her chances of winning today, and for me ruined her chances of winning the overall World Cup. Roysland in 3rd place, picking up another good haul of points. She gets 48 for that, with Elvira Erberg down in 15th place at the moment. What does she get? 25, 26? So a big differential. We're up to a margin of around 100 points. Obviously, it depends how many athletes finish in between Roysland and Elvira Erberg before the end of today. Hetish might do it. Another 25 seconds from here, so we're looking at around a minute 15, would that be, behind? Maybe between 1:10 and 1:15 off the pace, and that could be worth a 12th. Well, if she can get 12th, she can get 11th, because there's only 0.5 of a second between Bendika and Vitozzi at the moment. So all to play for as they come into the finish, and she does split those two. So 12th place for Hetish, and only Denise Herman of Germany is, in fact, Hildebrand's ahead of her as well. So she's number 3 in the German team at the moment, and Germany with 4 athletes in the top 15. Kalkenberg goes 46, like the Erbergs, having a bit of a nightmare on that prone shoot. 3 misses from her. I don't think we're going to see many more than 10 hit the perfect score today. I think that's highly unlikely. Just about everyone is through the prone chute. 81 starters. We had 81 on the list. We had a few DNSs. Stremus didn't start from Romania. Ivanova, not sure what's going on there. I think possibly hit by COVID. And Ingela Andersson of Sweden, she didn't start either. She was brought in as a replacement for Hugberg, who got COVID, or a positive test, let's say. Not sure whether she's asymptomatic. So, Selina Gasparin again. Slow on the recocking. Well, at least she cleared the last one. I think the body screaming out for oxygen on shots 3 and 4. So just 2.5K to go. She'll, I think, just have done enough to get herself into the top 60 and win a place in the pursuit. But we won't see Gasparin in the mass start unless she produces an outstanding pursuit. Nielsen, one of the best late starters that we've seen so far today. Great shooting from Nielsen. Came out of the range in 18th place. She's just looking to see what she's done on the course. I think she's dropped just down outside the top 20 in a battle with Heikki and Tandrevold, who have come across the line some time ago. Tandrevold down in 24th at the moment. Emma Nielsen, can she break the top 24? Fialkova at 151, I think might just be safe. It's going to be very, very tight. 23rd place, good finish from Emma Nielsen. She's dug deep on that last loop, and with a late call-up, I think that's a fantastic effort. Well, one or two in the crowd reacting. I think most of them realising that the race is run as far as the top 10 are concerned. No one's going to challenge. The 3 on the podium started number 1, 3 and 9. Not in that order, but they all went early. Partly the conditions were better, not quite so much moisture in the snow, but also because they are the quickest skiers anyway. Hauser, Roysland, Eckhoff, all going very well in the early stages. Sabul of Latvia. We saw a couple of Ukrainians racing last week in Otapa. That was a very nice touch. Two sisters off the junior tour produced some respectable results, but it was more symbolic than anything else, and much appreciated by the Biathlon Tour. And everyone's still wearing the blue and yellow ribbon on the carrying harness, just indicating their support for Ukraine. And it's been difficult for the Russian and the Belarusian athletes. I think everyone realizing that it is not their fault. They've got nothing to do with it, but it is part of the Russian propaganda machine, the success of their sports athletes. And only fair that if the Ukrainians have to go and fight, the Russians should have to leave the circuit. One or two sports still holding out, thinking that racing without a flag or competing without the national colours and the national anthem is enough. So the stadium's gone relatively quiet. We've still got a few athletes to come through. Everyone now, I believe everyone is through the first chute. Yes, everyone through the first chute. And in terms of the second chute, 75 through. We've got a couple to go as Caroline Erdal comes down into the finish. 3 misses. Now that's 150 metres times 3, 450. And it's only a 7.5 kilometre race. So you get some idea of the percentage penalty for a miss in a sprint. It is damaging. And Erdal outside the top 40, outside the World Cup points. That's disappointing for her. Norway, though, have got number 1 and 3. And then a bit of a jump down to Knotten, who's sitting in 16. Tandrevold at 22. Now, Roysland just needed a top 23. So one result that I can now confirm is that Roysland has taken the Crystal Globe for the sprint. She can't win the individual. That's already been wrapped up. David Dover is the winner of the individual championship for this year, having won the first. She got a first and a sixth. Only 2 individuals for that little globe. Probably the easiest one to win. Roysland leads the pursuit standings. That is already tied up. It's almost in the bag. All you can see is the top of the globe. Otherwise, she's sealed it. She's going to be over 100 points clear at the end of today. In the sprint, she has confirmed that. So 2 of the 5 Crystal Globes confirmed in the women's tour at the moment. Or 3, because as I mentioned, the individual has already gone. So we just have the mass start to go. And then at the end of tomorrow's race, I think Roysland will be completely out of reach of Elvira Øberg. I think it's going to require 2 wins by Øberg and a positive test from Roysland, and no one wants that to happen. In the men's, the sprint still to be decided. That obviously will be decided today. And the mass start, which is quite a close affair. Phil Maillet in the driving seat for 4 of the globes. Tarjei Bø winning the men's individual globe. As we see Joanne Reid from USA. Not the best of days for USA so far. I think Joanne Reid is probably going to be their best athlete. Amanda Lightfoot sitting, last time I saw, sitting around the top 60. Reid hoping for World Cup points. Can she make the top 40? She was in 36th position last time we saw her. Simon on 2:23. Bad day for Julie Simon, and she's been beaten by Joanne Reid. Well, that is definitely the best of the American performances. 34 at the moment. Takizaki of Japan sitting in 32. Lotte Lee races for Belgium. Good season. Looked good early on in the season. Was really impressed what she did. Just dropped away a little bit, but coming back, and certainly might fancy her chances of going into the top 20 in the pursuit tomorrow. 3 days of consecutive racing. 67 across the line so far. We've got 9 more to go, and then race 1 of the day is over. As I mentioned at the start of the programme, Scott Dixon, Mike Dixon's son, will be joining me for the men's sprint a little later this afternoon. That's great news. Mike away at the Masters World Championships in Kontiolahti. A week of waxing and scoping with a relay race thrown in. Sounds perfect. And they've got the same weather there as we have here in Oslo at the moment. Lou Jean-Monod. 8 out of 10 is respectable. She's going to miss the World Cup points, but it's not really about that. This is about experience, and the French very, very keen to keep their run of success going. She's only 23, comes from Forcatier, and that's her first World Cup experience, and that for me is very, very good. Selena Gasparin gets a decent hand of round of applause from the crowd here in Holmenkollen. She must have been coming for the last 15 years. 2:35 the margin. One more race to go for the season. Was she in the top 60? Just checking. Surely she must be. Yeah, sitting in 43rd position. 60 at the moment, sitting at 3:43. Amanda Lightfoot of Great Britain is on 3:39. So just in 58th position. And there is absolutely no doubt that Fem Steinvik is going to go into the top 25. Probably a little bit better than that. Good finish from Fem Steinvik up against Knotten. She was in 16th place at the last split, and if she wants to go top 15, she's got to go ahead of Stina Nielsen. 1:18 the margin. She does it. Good finish. 1:26, and Fem Steinvik puts, what's that, 5 Norwegians in the top 15 places. They've got Fem Steinvik, we've got Roysland and Eckhoff. Actually, Knotten has been pushed down to 19. She was in the top 15 last time I looked. So still only 3 Norwegians in the top 15. Disappointing day for Elvira Øberg. Only consolation, if it is a consolation, that she's well ahead of her sister. Actually, looks to me as if Hannah Øberg has not finished. We've got Elvira Øberg in 17. Oh, Hannah Øberg, no, she didn't pull out. 5 misses. She just missed so many. She's down in 39th position, in danger of not getting any points at all. And, well, Ellen Bekova, who is just behind her, will not gain any points because of the fact that they've been disqualified, not allowed a race from Belarus. Hauser, though, on 5:77 is could well move up into the top 3 of the overall standings. With that performance today, Hauser in 2nd place. She gets 54 points. So I'll leave you to do the maths. 54 onto 577. So what's that? 631, I think, which puts her comfortably ahead of Hannah Øberg. There is a battle on for 3rd place in the women's overall, and the Austrians will certainly have picked up on that, and they'll be dead keen that Hauser produces another good result in the pursuit tomorrow, and then it could all come down to the mass start on Sunday. That's what we want. Something to be decided on the Sunday, so it's not just a demonstration run like the last day of the Tour de France. Saboul down in 70. We still have 2 skiers out there on the tracks today, so let's just go over the top 10 positions. Eckhoff has got it. Brilliant performance by Tiril Eckhoff. The 28th win of her career, and her 2nd win in 3 weeks, because she won the pursuit in Kontiolahti. Eva Puskachik over there, another of the athletes retiring at the end of today's race. It's going to seem there are going to be a lot of new faces next year. Hashizuka started 81 of 81, and long way adrift, missing out on the top 60. Well, that just about wraps up the action from Oslo. At the back end of the result sheet, looking for those who have qualified. Well, let's start with the top 10 as it's on your screens now. Eckhoff, as I mentioned, 28th win of her career. It's only her second win this season, 2 in 3 weeks. So she's finishing well. That's going to provide some motivation for the summer. Hauser, brilliant in second. Good run from Roysland. That's why she's the #1. That's what, the 11th time she's been on the podium this year. Davidova 4, Chevalier Boucher 5, Jislova of the Czech Republic 6, and Denise Herman in 7th. Further down, Tandrevold disappointing with 2 misses. Bescon much better than 37th, but when you miss 4, you make life pretty difficult for yourself. Now we're getting towards those that have just scraped in to the pursuit race tomorrow. Claire Egan of USA is there, and right at the bottom, Amanda Lightfoot, 2 misses, 3:39. She is number 60. Will be the last to start in the pursuit. It's going to be a major battle not to get lapped. Quite a few didn't finish, quite a few didn't start, and no medical report hitting our desk prior to the race, so can only assume there have been a few positive tests. It is rife in Europe at the moment. Roysland, not at best, certainly not on her best ski form, but 90% hit rate. 100% hit rate for Lisa Theresa Hauser, and after a steady first 2 loops, she really went for it on the final loop. She managed to stay ahead of Roysland, and with just 600 meters to go, she was only a second down on Tyrrell Eckhoff, but Eckhoff with the best finish of the day. That confidence is back, the ski form is back, and her standing shoot looking as good as it did at the height of her strengths last year. So Eckhoff takes a win where she got her first world title here in Oslo. The Holmenkollen Stadium treating her well again. In terms of the overall, Eckhoff only in 15th place at the start of today. She missed a lot of races in preparation for the Olympic Games, but in the end it goes down as a good season. She got a gold, a silver and a bronze from the Olympics. She's got 2 World Cup wins now, but it's still Roysland who heads the overall score, and 106 the margin at the top. Just 120 points still to be won. No one is going to catch Marta Olsbu Roysland. She will be the #1 for the first time. Two races remaining for the season. A pursuit tomorrow, a mass start on Sunday. Top 15 in the World Cup standings entered by right. The remaining places filled by those who have produced good results here in Oslo, and that could prove very, very important for Jislova. Eckhoff down in 15th at the start of today, but she's now guaranteed herself a start. There you have it, the sprint standings decided. All the sprint races from the season, all 9 of them counting, and Roysland a decent margin clear at the end. The Öberg sisters doing brilliantly, but today was a disappointment for the Swedish siblings. Stina Nilsson up to 23rd with another decent performance, not quite as dramatic as we saw in Kontiolahti, but Nilsson finishing 16.
Det blir litt sånn
Jeg kjente meg som en kløne.
back on the podium again. Started first, third, and finished third. What did she get last week? 10th in the sprint in Otepää. So, yeah, been slightly below par, just the odd wayward shot. Again, 90% hit rate today. And with Roysland hitting, what, 19 out of 20 in the mass start in Otepää, you would have thought that she would have been certainly top 2, but actually ended up taking 3rd place in that, beaten by Elvira Öberg, who produced what I thought was probably her best race of the season. Although I suspect her first win in Annecy will be her most memorable. 4 wins for Elvira Öberg so far this season. Needs to shoot better than she did today. Did the Öberg sisters get a little bit unfortunate with the wind? Certainly something funny was going on in the first 10 minutes. No doubt about that. We saw misses by 2, 3, sometimes 4 centimetres in the prone. That's pretty unheard of. Well, the King's Guard will be warming up. There they are. Oslo, definitely the place to be today. Yesterday the weather was foul, it was very wet. They lost a lot of snow, but like most resorts, they lay down artificial snow at the start of the season. They've had plenty of natural snow this year. The stadium always busy at this time of year. The Holmenkollen March, I don't know if any of you have done that, a marathon race that ends up in the stadium. Have to get a train out of the city in the morning. I've forgotten the name of the place where it starts, but first 5k, absolutely desperate, because after that you go under a railway and the bridge is only about as wide as a barn door, so if you're not in the first 10 you can get held up for a couple of minutes and cost you any chance of a top position. So the first 5k of the Holmenkollen March, probably the fastest 5k you ever ski. It is Loppet Tour season. We had the Engadin Marathon last weekend. Dario Colonia doing that for the final time. The great Dario Colonia, retired now from the cross-country World Cups. The Vasaloppet at the start of March. Top 6 athletes go through their doping control and then out for the presentations. Crown Prince and the King in the stadium 2 weekends ago for the Holmenkollen Festival, which includes the women's 30-kilometre, won of course by Therese Johaug in the cross country. That was yeah, a great event, really emotional. Just announced her retirement the night before, then of course went to Falun to race. There's already talk of persuading Johaug to do another season or to continue until the World Championships in Trondheim. But she wants kids, and racing at the top level and kids, very, very difficult to mix. She'd have to take at least a year out. Marie Durand-Hébert, what an achievement she had. Former biathlete for the French team. And what was it, 3 months after giving birth, went to Kontiolahti and didn't win 1 gold, but won 2 golds at the World Championships. Well, it's party time in Oslo. I'm not quite sure what the delay is with the presentations. Just to remind you that 3 of the 5 globes in the women's tour now decided. David Dover has taken the individual. Roysland cannot be caught in the pursuit. She's had 4 wins in the pursuit. She could make it 5 tomorrow. And Roysland today securing the sprint Crystal Globe as well, and getting about as close as you can get to securing the overall as well. Kaisa Mäkäräinen. Nice to see Tora Berger there as well, slightly more in disguise on the left of your screen. The great Norwegian who entertained us for many, many years. What a fighter she was.
Mine damer og herrer, IBUs hovedstyre har besluttet å utnevne 2 strålende idrettsutøvere som de nye sammenlagtvinnerne av IBU World Cup for 2013-2014-sesongen. På grunn av brudd på dopingreglement følger denne avgjørelsen en dom som nylig har blitt rettskraftig. Totalpoengsummen fra den sesongen er derfor beregnet på nytt, og resultatet ble å erklære 2 vinnere. Ladies and gentlemen, the IBU Executive Board has decided to award 2 brilliant athletes as the new total score winners of the IBU World Cup Biathlon for the 2013-14 season. Due to doping violations, this decision follows a verdict which has recently become legally binding. The total score from that season has therefore been recalculated, and the result was to declare these 2 as winners. Vi derfor beæret over å tildele trofeene for verdenscupens totalscore 2013-2014 til disse 2 utøverne. We are honored to award the trophy for the World Cup total score 2013-14 to these 2 athletes, Kaisa Mäkäräinen and Tora Berger.
Well, that would be a very, very popular move.
And Tora Berger also has birthday today. She's 41 years old.
Well, how about that? Tora Berger and Kaisa Mäkäräinen, who did battle on so many occasions, produced some incredible finales to the season.
With the Crystal Globe, Kaisa Mäkäräinen, Tora Berger.
Mäkäräinen, of course, from Finland, actually comes from Kontiolahti, where the tour was a couple of weeks ago, or Joensuu, just outside, and that will be well received in Finland, certainly, as will Tora Berger's success.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the prize-giving ceremony for the BMW IBU World Cup Sprint for Women. The medals and flowers from Floris are handed over by Ole Dahlin, the IBU president. Number 3, representing Norway.
I think just on hold while Roysland gets a little bit closer to the podium. Here we go. The top 6 led out by today's winner, Tiril Eckhoff. Going to be interested to see Lisa Theresa Hauser's reaction. She started number 1 today. Never easy to put in a good performance with them being the first athlete out. Just pacing yourself becomes that little bit harder. You ski the first loop on your own. You don't get any assistance from others who are maybe a little bit fresher. But she will have known she was in a race when it came to that last loop. Her coaches and team will have told her that she was being chased by 2 of the fastest in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the prize-giving ceremony for the BMW IBU World Cup Sprint for Women. The medals and flowers from Floris are handed over by Ole Dahlin, the president of the IBU. Number 3, representing Norway, Norge, Marte Olsbu Røiseland.
Roysland's third place for the second successive race. But what a season. She's going to be #1 come the end of the year. 3 gold medals, 2 bronze, so 5 medals from 6 races out in Beijing. And she was 4th in the relay, where she didn't get a medal. Lisa Theresa Hauser, 28 now, comes from just outside Kitzbühel, where they produce many a top alpine skier. Hauser, by far and away, their best cross-country skier, and an excellent biathlete at that. Second place for Hauser. Remember, she won the very first race of the very first sprint of the season, I should say. She was second in the first race of the season. That was the individual. So she started the season well. She's finished well. Tyra Lekhoff, hugely popular. Just a bundle of fun. When you're feeling down, she is the person you want to come wandering into the room. The only time you see her look serious is the 5 minutes before the start of the race. And my goodness, she focused well today. 9 out of 10 in the range, but a blistering, I was going to say a blistering last lap. Really, it was the last 600 meters where she sealed it. Another 60 points, not really about the World Cup positions after such a poor start to the season. But if you're going to have a below par season, finish it well. Give yourself the motivation for the summer training. No chance that Ekhoff will be retiring after her success today.
World Cup Sprint for Women. Number 4, 4th place, representing the Czech Republic, Markéta Davidová.
Good 4th place for Davidová. She's certainly not been on in the flower presentations as much as we would have expected this year. Down in 12th at the start of today. I think she might have improved by 1 or 2 places with her result today. And Jislova putting 2 Czech biathletes in the top 6. That is great news for a nation that have been you know, over the last 15 years, they've been rising, and then they've had a spate of retirement. Suddenly, they've got to start rebuilding again. And a 6th place for Jislova will be music to the ears of the people who have been running the Czech Biathlon Federation over the last 18 months. '28th World Cup victory. The most successful woman on the tour at the moment, Tyra Lekhoff. Got into double figures in terms of wins last year.
A big hand for the winners of the sprint women in Holmenkollen. Tyra Lekhoff, Lisa Theresa Hauser, Marte Olsbu Røiseland.
Well, I'm just wondering whether they'll present the sprint crystal globe now. Normally they'd present the crystal globe for the sprints, which is going to this lady, Marte Olsbu Røiseland. She's good thing she's in Norway. Five podiums for sprints this year for Røiseland. Only 2 wins. They came in Annecy just before Christmas. What a round of the World Cup that was. And then Oberhof, she got a win in Oberhof. I was going to say it's in difficult conditions. It's always difficult in Oberhof. Misty, windy. If it's not snowing, it's raining. But she held it together on that occasion. And 5 podiums before today, so her success today takes it up to 6 podiums in the sprint from 9 World Cup sprint events, and that is good enough to make you the world #1. The small globe, there's a big one coming her way tomorrow. They may present that on Sunday after the mass start. Well, it's going to be a good race tomorrow, no doubt about that. Well, that just about completes our coverage from Oslo for now. We will be back just after 3 o'clock for the, or 2 o'clock I should say, for the men's sprint event. And all to play for there between Fion-Maillet and Samuelsen. Jacquelin will want to look in. The Norwegians certainly want to win on the home snow. Should be an absolutely cracking race a little bit later today. And then the pursuits and the mass starts tomorrow. And as I said earlier, Scott Dixon will be joining me for the men's sprint later on this afternoon. Hope you can join us for that, and we'll see you then. We'll enjoy a little bit of sunshine between now and then. The individual trophy going to Markita Davidova of the Czech Republic. Excellent.
Trophy is handed over by Mr. Ole Dahlin, the president of the IBU.
A first and a 6th in the individual trophy, individual events for Davidova. Only 2 individuals this year. The first is always the first race of the year. I always find that slightly bizarre. The longest, the hardest, the toughest race they do is the first one of the season, just to shock them into working order. And then another individual race in Antolz. That was an absolute cracker earlier on in the year. Antolz, of course, the last of the Biathlon trophy events, and the individual on that occasion won by Justine Brezard-Boucher.
The ceremony for Women's Nation Cup score, BMW World Cup. Nummer 1 og sammenlagt vinner. Nummer 1 og vinner. Norge!
Norway taking the trophy. I think many thought the Swedish might challenge. And to be honest, the Öbergs have been sensational this year. As Lynn Persson, much improved. Högberg has been excellent. But they just need a couple more up there and a bit more success in the relays. But it's the Norwegian women that take the Nations Cup in biathlon for 2022. Roysland leading the way. Eckhoff coming to form later on, which has made a decent difference to the scores. Tandervold certainly shouldn't be forgotten.
Congratulations, what a fantastic day, beautiful day in front of
today's
home
winner.
crowd and a winner. Can it get any better?
No, actually, I'm so happy today. It's something special here in Holmenkollen. It's my total, it's the #1 stadium for me. I did my first race here. I've been training so much here, and so it tastes good.
Having friends and family after especially the past few years of silence, how special is this?
Yeah, it's 3 years since we competed here, and especially nice to see my mom and my boyfriend, and yeah, I'm so happy.
I can tell. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oh, don't get so.
An emotional Tiril Eckhoff. Those very nice scenes, and as I mentioned, getting her first world title here as well, so it does mean a lot. And actually her rise to form, I was just saying how important that has been. Sweden, with 3 races left in the Nations Cup, were leading Norway, but Eckhoff has played an absolute blinder over the last couple of weeks, and that has made all the difference. But Roysland, really the athlete that has clinched it for them. 861 points she has gained this year. Hauser will be delighted with second place today. Didn't go right for the Italians. Vitozzi, not bad, 9 out of 10, only missed 1 in the prone, so no more disasters for her. We should see her in the pursuit tomorrow, which will be, without a doubt, an exciting race. And first away will be Tiril Eckhoff of Norway. Can she make it 2 wins in a row? Or will Hauser or Roysland get the better of her?